Right now, leading our bulletin this hour, South Africans around the country are growing frustrated by the rolling blackouts. At this stage, it's not clear when things will get back to normal. eNCA's Nqobile Madlala is on the streets of Johannesburg talking to people affected by the outages, and she joins us now. Good morning, Nqobile. How has traffic been just getting to where you are this morning, and how are community members coping with stage 5?
Quite a number of stop and goes as you drive all the way. But of course, because we know load shedding is in some areas and some areas are still a bit okay. I mean, around here in Soweto, it's been a bit okay, but getting out of Hyde Park was a bit difficult as there was already some of the robots that were not working. But of course, you can imagine the frustration in Soweto as well for the community that has already been faced with already power issues. Now load shedding has been added to this. I mean, we heard from some of the leaders that were saying to us that they thought that they were breathing a sigh of relief because they've already paid some of their debts, but now they have to be subjected to load shedding. So I want to bring in some of the people that work on the ground, of course, in this darkness. And I mean, I understand that you guys are trying to make sure that the area is much safer, hence what you're wearing, because you are securing the area. But how difficult is it to work in this darkness?
Okay, it's quite difficult. I don't want to lie. It's quite difficult. Whenever it's dark, it's very difficult to actually deter the crime. At the same time, it's very difficult for us to spot criminals. You understand? So we also had an incident whereby we saw a gate open at a church, nearby church. When there's load shedding, they can't close the gate at the night. So we had to patrol that vicinity because they once had an incident of a break-in. It's because of the load shedding, we understand. So those are the challenges we are facing now and again.
So would you say that crime has gone up because of load shedding?
Crime has went up definitely because of load shedding. I'd blame that as well.
Okay, so what are you doing here today?
Okay, we actually here to actually let you know about the challenges. And another thing, there's a case whereby the police forum of the zone has reported there's a stolen vehicle right here. It's been reported by these guys aside. But the problem is there's no responses yet from the police. So there's quite a delay. Yeah.
Right. So would you attribute that also to load shedding?
I would attribute that also to load shedding. It might happen that there's a communication error in terms of the network and stuff like that. Yeah.
But I understand that you're also assisting families, right? You're also assisting families to get like ambulances and things like that in this darkness. How hard is that?
Yeah, it's quite difficult because when there's no electricity, remember, we cannot charge our phones. You understand? We need to call the ambulances, so we need to make a quick plan. Because ambulance. You understand? So it's quite difficult for residents. It's quite difficult for us, the security personnel and patrollers that are patrolling in the streets. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. I want to bring in Slepe. I mean, you also part of this group where there's a lot of patrolling that has to go on. This gentleman just telling us that the crime has gone up because of load shedding. If you can perhaps give us an idea in terms of policing the area, and since you have a lot of number of people on the ground, how difficult is it under load shedding?
It is quite difficult because of, when it's dark, it's very dangerous because of you can't even see what your suspect have and what are they, how many are they. So it's quite difficult. It's very, very quite difficult.
And what's the community's reaction to all of this at the moment?
Honestly, even yesterday we had a meeting in Rockville regarding some of the issues that we have experienced because a lot of things have been happening very, very big because of now this load shedding, and now it's more. They put more hours, and now the criminals take advantage on that, especially on cable theft. It's worse now. It's going up.
So when there's cable theft, what does that mean for the community?
It means now they're getting frustrated. I mean, you can just imagine it's load shedding immediately, it's cable theft, there's no electricity for a while. So it's going to be, it's really frustrating. And people are getting little bit, fed up in that. So we don't know what's going to happen in the future.
All right. But what is Soweto hoping for?
For the best. That's what I can say. For the best. Only God knows.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, you can hear them, Fundo. There is a frustration in terms of ensuring that the area is safe. They're saying that they are hoping for the best, but with longer hours of load shedding means that they cannot spot the crimes that happens in the area, but also just risking as they go around and patrol. But of course, this is a difficult time for everybody, and they're just saying that it's getting even more difficult in the area because also cables are now being stolen, which means people are without electricity even longer.
No, honestly, these are legitimate frustrations that really even pose a serious health risk for the elderly or those that would need ambulances to come. We'll leave it there for now. Thank you very much for that update. That's Nqobile Madlala out in Soweto.